last time Alyssia did, shall we say, Alyssia things, and then she had a heartfelt conversation with Lucretia that turned sexual, like those YouTube videos for some reason, and it was awkward. There we go. That's what happened, right? That was everything that happened. Oh yeah, you guys went back in time, but come on, that just happens. It's fine.
It wasn't awkward for me.
All I remember is large amounts of hairs.
Yep, large amounts of hairs happened. Yep, I was there. I can attest to this happening. That's exactly what happened. Right. So I'm assuming you guys had a good night's rest. You have some money to your name. What's on the agenda for today?
Oh, I'm waiting for everybody down in the tavern part.
Sounds good.
Oh,
you see that the barkeeper is also waiting for you guys. As is tradition, he is basically preparing himself to kick the shit out of you from his tavern. And you get the feeling that this is kind of a tradition that he enjoys because he's incredibly giddy about it for some reason. He's really looking forward to this.
So, you guys come and join Iris?
Yep.
Where's Horatius?
Excellent question. Also, you might be interested in this, and that he just casually tosses the small bag full of 600 gold coins onto the table.
Iris catches it, and you can see her looking down towards it. And she's like, oh, I've never held so much gold in my life.
I hold out my hand for Iris to give me the money.
I believe that answers the question of what I was doing last night.
Oh, you said there's some adventuring jobs. Fair enough. Iris is still holding onto the gold as if she doesn't want to let go.
Did we suddenly die or something?
There's probably a lot more questions now, but okay.
I'm just...
Well, of course it is. Of course
holding my hand out to get the money from Iris.
Iris is still holding it.
Ash is apparently muted.
Yes.
No, he just went into shock. It's fine. Iris just had a brain fart.
No, Iris is still holding the gold. She doesn't seem to want to let go.
I hold out my hand closer.
Iris goes, so, and she slowly turns away. So,
I'm grabbing your wrist.
She stops. So, what are we planning to do today? I mean, we could get some,
I take the gold from you.
I'm still holding it. It's like...
Opposing athletics.
That's not how this game works.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
No, it's like she's gonna look up and say, Lucy, just let me hold it. It's just for a little bit.
No.
Pencia, please. Like Iris tries giving you puppy dog eyes. I never hold so much money, please.
I'll give you some of it, but I need to keep everything in one place.
Lucy, please.
This is literally your allowance for like a year or something.
It's like, well, Hannah never gave me so much money.
Well, I for one was planning to make more money today if possible. I gather we have at least one day left until all hell breaks loose, for lack of a better term.
No, we have several days. Remember, we spent a few days here. But that's the point I'm going to make is... today I think we should head over to the east side of the island. I suspect that's where some of the monsters from the west side went over there. We could pick up a few venturing jobs before we leave.
We're not registered.
Well, we're gonna have to register then, again.
True.
Yes, and we can use this gold, I say, as I continue to tug it away from you.
It's finally relents. Relents, and let's go.
What about you you people? Didn't you make any money last night?
I did.
I made the same amount of silver I did last time. This is all I have left on me, she says, and takes out a flute.
I made 91 gold healing people.
I got a special silver coin.
Again.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it's the one with a mark on it. Remember I showed you last time?
Perhaps?
Before. Yeah, he looks confused.
Seems like you might have picked the wrong jobs.
What do you
That's
mean?
fine with my job.
Alyssia just points to the bag of 600 gold coins.
I'm not a degenerate.
It just shrugs.
Either way, we're gonna basically sign up to the Adventure Guild, right?
Most likely. If we can just figure out where the hell Horatius went.
I'm sure he'll follow us.
As he comes walking in the door of the tavern.
Where were you all night?
Things.
But by the way, he was like slams her hands on the table and stands up. It's like, were you whoring yourself?
I'm just imagine the look I'm giving you. Right?
Lucretia looks at the table with a pained look on her face, like that was
like...
one of the dumbest things she's ever heard.
Quiet chuckle coming across it, like from Alyssia.
Yes, it was just making a joke. It's okay, Lucretia. You do not recognize jokes.
Piss taking
You never know with you. Never know with you.
Even your GM is curious what Horatius was doing. He doesn't know.
Even the GM doesn't know. Horatius went out of time and space.
That sounds serious.
It's okay. He came back for the day and he can no longer choose to succeed.
Wait, what? Did
What?
you pilot wife?
That's all you get.
He doesn't have a wife.
Oh, right.
He has a sister.
No,
Yeah, but
piloting sister.
pilot her.
Piloting sister is definitely not a goddamn skill.
The redneck skill. Trade.
Okay, so we better head over to the Adventure Guild, get signed up, and then we're gonna go and see the eastern side. Everybody agree with that? Good.
You guys are going to move out and head to the guild, is that correct? Right, so you guys, since you know exactly where you're going, you've been there a couple of times already, the trip is not only very easy, it's also a little surreal because it was, well, in another life, or was it? Don't worry about the details. Stuff like that's gonna drive you mad. You shouldn't think about it too much. Anyway, you guys make your way to the guild, and as soon as you enter, a familiar face greets you. It's the girl that helped you register last time and it was helping setting up, the quests and things that were happening around the guild area. She immediately approaches you with a smile. Welcome! I see we have some new visitors. How may I help you today?
Hey! We would like to sign up as a group and also individuals.
Oh, so you're already aware of our rules. Excellent. Well, that would be 2 gold for the registration. It will only take a couple of minutes. If you have any further questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Is it true you don't keep a register of who's like on the Heroes Guild?
We do keep a register of all the active and inactive adventurers, yes, but sadly that is on a need-to-know basis. Only heroes who are of B rank and above are allowed to view it.
Curses. We weren't even that last time. She mutters to herself. Well,
I elbow you
I'm sorry,
immediately.
because you
I elbow
overskipped
you
muttering something.
immediately.
Haha.
Nothing.
He didn't
Just
say anything.
just wondering about things. Anyway, yes, registers.
Very well then, that will be 2 gold pieces. She holds out her hand with a smile.
I hold
I
it.
give her the
Oh,
2
right, I
gold.
don't have gold.
Well,
I have
slightly.
gold.
Thank you very much. I'll get your papers in order. It will only take a few minutes. Please feel free to take a seat and wait.
By the way, I'm gonna look around at the place, just remembering what I saw last time and seeing all the small things that people are doing. Like, oh yeah, I remember doing that.
You will also notice that Talion is currently not here. It's gonna take him and his party a few days to arrive still. So
We have a couple days until the volcano sets off, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
More than a few days, like 4, I believe.
Lucy.
I'm gonna say that Talion is probably going to arrive later tomorrow evening. The day after, things are gonna start steering. Then everything is gonna set up, and then you have 1 extra day to prepare, and then everybody moves out. So let's say 4 days until volcano time.
If
basically.
Alyssia hoards herself out more, I can buy 1,000 gold worth of components and scry on the volcano.
On that note, before we just plan out Alyssia's whoring. Horatius
Can we?
is gonna
I mean,
turn
can we
to
not, Vo?
you,
Can we not
Lucy,
do that, Vo?
and ask. So you know that the crew's washed up somewhere on that side of the island, right?
Yep,
Yes.
that was the plan. Go and get our gear.
Maybe we can hire a guide and get.
We need a guide? Oh, right.
Unless you want to stumble about. Yeah, could you sketch out anything you saw? I'll get on it while we're doing this.
Remember, they were by the river. Was it a river or the sea?
What do I roll for drawing?
Performance. All artsy stuff is performance.
Sounds about right.
Wow.
Really good
Damn.
drawer. Wow.
I guess
19.
there we go. Lucretia, because she's having so much fun, not only does she draw out the entire map beautifully and everything she remembers, she also decides to go full engineering mode on it and everything is up to scale.
Kick.
There we go. Amazing.
I give Lucretia
You
pats
feel
for
like you
making
can
such a good
probably
drawing.
make some money doing stuff like this.
Oh, I know. I'm just gonna start doing paintings and selling them where we go.
Well, it's not heretical. You may be less heretical than you are now if you did that.
Well, yeah, she's the goddess of art and beauty. This is basically kind of, yeah.
Yep,
Oh.
that's about Shailen's field, I'd say.
I
guess...
discovered that I love drawing. I'm going to add in a tool proficiency for drawing.
Also, yeah, that's Horatius is going to take that, and he will be searching for someone to guide them on that side of the island.
Gotcha.
And if anyone recognizes this sort of area or terrain or anything to narrow it down.
Considering the island is not that big and if they've got plenty of grizzled adventurers left and right, it's not hard for you to spot a few guys that are not only familiar with the area in the eastern parts, but some of them even recognize some of the landmarks since Lucretia, well, made a pretty good drawing. Quite a few of them actually agree to be a guide there, but they warn you that it's a two-way trip, so it's gonna take a while to get there and get back. Plus, considering the weird situation on the island, there is a possibility they might run into some tougher monsters that usually are not on that side of the island, so they're gonna ask for a little extra.
Sure.
If you
How
want,
many
you can
days are we
run some
talking?
negotiations, see if you can, you know, get them to lower a few gold coins off the bill.
Also, how long are we talking days-wise?
It's gonna be a 2-day trip to get to the relative area and do a small search so you can locate exactly what you're looking for, and probably it's gonna take you a bit under another 2 days to get back to the cove. So
Is
in
that
total
even
the
worth
trip
it?
is gonna be about 4 days.
Yeah, let's buy the like basic equipment, but like the rings really didn't help us in the long run at all, and they cost a lot, so I think we can just skip on those.
Well,
Yeah,
sun
the
balm
rings are
and
pretty
tea.
much a sham, I'd say, considering that they can't really fucking save you from lava.
Yep.
That being said, like sun balm and tears cost I think 20 for the 20 for sun balm and 40 for the tears, and it basically just makes you like almost basically immune to fire, like heat. No wait.
Yeah, that would be
20
that would be a
20
good
30.
yeah,
Sorry.
that would be a good investment, but like the rings don't do
No.
fuck all against
Also,
getting
just so you know,
dumped into
thanks
lava.
to Horatius's, well, let's call it haggling, despite that being a 12 and not too impressive, the best price he could get for you guys is a guy is willing to take you there and back. However, you have to cover, of course, his expenses for the trip, plus his daily wage. He has agreed to take you there and back for the 4 days and guide you for a total of 400 gold pieces. Right, your guide is ready and he will be willing to set out whenever you guys feel like it, since he's already been paid. So it's up to you guys when you wish to head out east.
Now is good.
Now.
Now is good, I see. Very
He's just
well
like,
then,
alright, let
since
me know
now-
when you're ready. We're ready now. Oh, okay.
I'm
Let me
just
know when you're ready.
making
Okay,
sure
just
you
give me
don't have
1
to
second.
be a dick
Adjust
about
the
it, it's
boot
fine.
slightly. Does belt buckle? Okay.
God damn it.
Loot slightly. What?
Lewd
Just
slightly.
Adjusts boot slightly.
No, lewd slightly.
Lewd slightly, yeah. Just put like the tip of it hanging out for a second.
You just swat your sister's ass. Okay, I'm ready.
Sorry, what? What was that?
I said lewd slightly.
Oh shit, sorry, I thought that was Vendra. And then you refused to answer any follow-up questions.
No, I don't know why. You switched to Horatius. I didn't realize you were trying to talk as Vendrick.
No, I meant, Horatius, why the fuck did you do that? I thought it was Vendra. And then refuses to answer any follow-up questions.
She just kind of looks at you like, what?
I bet you kiss girls, faggot.
She just Oh, that's what she says. You're just like, I thought it was Vendrick. She looks at you, narrows eyes, I bet you kiss girls, faggot, and then walks away. It hurts him. It hurts him.
So, which way does this guide take us? What do our 11 eyes see?
I think you mean your 11 eyes.
Sorry, I was shitposting there for a sec. Anyway. Right, so from what you can tell, the guide clearly knows his sword. This is not his first time around the block. Also, apparently, Lucretia, for some reason, is really feeling inspired today. She is helping out the guide, and you guys are making rapid progress. How about that?
I just wrote that to make a point.
Apparently we're in an elevator on the way there anyway, so...
Yeah.
How have you known
That's
that
why
the
it's
beach
so
music
easy
is
to
wonderful?
navigate.
Shut up.
It's an elevator. This is elevator music and you know it.
No, shut up.
No, like
This is the kind of...
No. This is literally visual novel music, like when you're sitting there making, like, picking your line.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh yeah, it's visual novel music. We're waiting for Horatius to...
Sorry,
to
you
pick
mean
the
those
two.
Japanese wank books?
We're waiting for Horatius to... We're waiting for Horatius to pick his waifu.
He has to pick between his sister and literally everyone else. All of the other people he stuffed in the waifu bin.
Okay, that's
But
enough
I keep trying to hit an option.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
All waifus. Just like, stop it! Stop it!
I don't even know who you are.
Oh, wait,
Stop,
is-
you're a
is
heretic.
Sister Cockblock Sister Cockblock game is strong. Anyway,
The
right.
Cockblock game is
the
strong
guy
because
seems
she
to be
wants to
worth
be
his
chosen.
money as you guys are making rapid progress through the jungle. You see that even though at the beginning he was a little on edge, he slightly starts to calm down and says that surprisingly there's not a lot of monsters. He expected more, considering all the wonky stuff that has been happening on the western part of the island. You notice quite a few corpses left and right from time to time. Some of them don't seem to have died due to other predators. They seem to just straight up been murdered by somebody. And they have not been looted, they have not been skinned, nothing. They've just been left there.
Were they murdered by
Weird.
cookeries?
Sorry, what?
Were they murdered by cookery-shaped stabs and slashes?
Or high caliber
No, it
rifle
doesn't
rounds.
seem like they were killed by anything like that. However, there are large parts of them missing. Probably somebody has been taking the meat.
Is there anything useful on the carcasses still?
Well, they haven't been looted for materials, so the skins, the horns, maybe some other stuff. But keep in mind that whoever killed them was not doing this because they want to salvage materials, and most of it is pretty damaged.
Actually, do adventurers tend to have markings or like dog tags essentially?
They do actually.
I'm
Many
gonna
of
take
the
those.
high-ranked adventurers, after they depart from the trainee rank and the fledgling rank, or the beginner rank actually, yeah, D and above, start getting their own tags, because they're basically not only a badge of recognition, but, well, as you can imagine, it has its uses when you're out in the wild.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna take those off the adventurers essentially. Gonna give them in.
There are no adventurers, I'm talking about animals.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant
No,
adventures.
no.
You just corpses.
I didn't mean like somebody was taking meat from people. No,
I was
not
going
fucking
to say.
cannibals.
That's why I said I hope it's not our crew eating people.
No, I was confused why you said that. No, these are the corpses of animals. There's no humans
Okay.
here. No.
All right. That was me.
I
Sorry.
was also confused why you were saying, I hope our crew isn't eating people. I was like, why would they be eating people?
I just assumed you only said
The first
corpses.
thing Ash would
The
do.
first-
turns
Ash,
up on the night
why
and eats Alyssia.
wait a minute. Don't fucking cannibalism. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I've been playing with Forest
There's a
recently. I'm
minor
sorry.
Well, look. Yeah, probably
Possibly.
don't.
Anyway, should we get moving towards the recruiters? Come on, let's
Yes,
go.
please. Anyway,
They're classy,
before
they
Ash
don't
distracted
fuck any
us with his
comrades.
weird cannibalistic tendencies, the guide continues guiding you quite fairly easy through the rest of the jungle on your way there. You actually are he says that you guys will probably arrive ahead of schedule simply because you're not running into any problems, and honestly, he was prepared that you guys are probably gonna have to fight a bit before making it to your destination. By the end of the first day, you have covered more than half the trek to your destination, and he says that that's probably good enough for today. You should probably break for camp unless you guys want to travel during the night in the jungle, which he says is very dangerous and he doesn't recommend it.
I look over to Alyssia.
And she just sort of perks up like, would it help if I told you I have perfect night vision?
He looks at you dubiously like you have perfect night vision. Sure.
She does.
I can cast lights over our heads.
She has special eyes.
If I pray to my
The guy
goddess.
shrugs and just says, well, just so we're clear, I advise you to stay here for the night where it's safe, so if shit hits the fans, I'm just taking my gold and leaving you guys. If it gets too hairy, I'm not dying for you.
Sure.
That's acceptable.
Well, how about this? We'll just go on until there's 6 hours until dawn. How about that? Then we all get a good night's sleep and we can carry on.
Alright then, it's your money. I'm already paid, so...
So yeah, we're just gonna go on for a little bit more. and then
As you're traveling through the night with the little... I'm assuming these are some floating lights, right? Something like that?
That would be dancing lights. Unfortunately, I don't have that. Essentially, what this is that articles of their clothing have started to glow.
You notice that as you keep traveling, some
No.
fireflies come out at night and they start circling around you guys, attracted by the light that is cast on your clothes, and they actually start flying around. They start landing on your shoulders, on your heads, and one actually lands on your noses.
I cross my eyes and try looking at it.
And as the firefly is looking at you curiously, all you see is Jeremy. No, he reaches out, takes it in his beak and eats it.
I look towards it like, oh right, omniverse.
You see that Jeremy is eyeing the rest of the fireflies, and he seems hungry. He's a predator that's about to be set loose.
Can you see in the
Truly
dark?
the most dangerous of
Oh,
predators.
actually, I do the typical bird thing. I get a handkerchief and simply put it over his head.
The bird is super confused and then falls asleep.
Explorer.
Yes.
Can Alyssia like periodically range ahead of the party a little bit, like advance ahead a little bit, and then like wait for the party to catch up, and then advance ahead a little bit, like just so she knows that she's going in the same direction, but still
Yep.
like
You basically
being ahead,
want to
like
be
ahead.
ahead to check out if something bad happens,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like I want to be, ahead. Well, see if shit is about to go down, so I can warn the others.
Right, make me a perception roll. Let's see how good you are at your current task.
Yep, fair enough. Oh damn!
Jesus
What is
Christ,
up with these
woman,
rolls?
calm down.
Special eyes, see everything.
You realize the hardest, basically the hardest DC in the game is 30, right? You just calm the fuck down, okay? Calm the fuck down, woman. It's not that dangerous. Yet.
At least she's going off the whole demon eyes thing quite well.
I wonder which
Alyssia,
other parts I can
as
add
you guys
myself.
continue progressing further towards the eastern end of the island, where you guys believe what Lucretia saw is, you start noticing some things. Despite it being dark, you can see just fine. And with your keen senses, you immediately pick up on a few small things. There are tracks. Usually, as you've been going through the jungle, the guide did tell you that there are some paths which they regularly take when they're going east for things, but they're marked. They have their own way of marking stuff, be it with some kind of small flags or things that they tie on trees. Some of them actually have magical choke, which basically mages would use to set up rituals and draw circles with it because there's faint traces of magic in it. But here, the adventurers have actually adapted to breaking off small pieces of choke and embedded it into the path itself, so it gives off a faint glow. So you can pretty much see that the area has been recently traversed and it is commonly used for some purpose. There are no such markings here. There are some trails that have been done recently by somebody that is not marking anything, and from what you can tell, they have been crossing with the natural paths of the monsters here. Whoever was making those carcasses has been using these tracks, and you've managed to locate one of them.
So essentially, someone has been making these tracks, but whoever it is not, and probably not an adventurer. Also,
Yes.
like, are all? Can I make out the I don't know, like tracks well enough so I can judge whether or not they were made by the same type of like foot or boot?
With that kind of roll, I'm gonna say yes. These tracks are all made from one set of prints, and from what you can tell, the person has been going back and forth to the deeper eastern end of the jungle where you guys are headed. It doesn't seem like the person was doing anything in particular to cover their tracks, or maybe they're just not good at it. So it's very easy for you to tell that this person has been doing a sloppy job if he's trying to keep himself hidden.
So judging by the carcasses we found earlier, like it's pretty likely actually that this is someone who's going out to hunt.
Yep.
Well, Alyssia is going to wait for the party to catch up.
I'll just give a minute. The elevator's slower than walking on the stairs.
Kick.
Dum,
God
dum,
damn it, Adam.
dum, dum, dum.
Okay, you know what? That's it. There we go. Your GM's mad now. No more beach music. There goes the atmosphere. Too bad.
Was the atmosphere supposed to be an elevator?
Oh!
Anyway, so if it's basically a few, like 6 hours or so, 7 hours until dawn, maybe we should make camp so we're not tired and dying slowly.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I'm assuming with that roll I also just happened to casually spot a good campsite.
Yeah, that's good enough. Plus the guide was basically taking you out of some beaten paths, so he knows a few good spots.
Well, anyway, well, as the party catches up, they find Alyssia leaning against a tree. Well, I think there's a possibility one of the survivors on the eastern part of the island is hunting. There are tracks all over. Those carcasses back there obviously were devoid of any... Well, everything was left on them except the meat. And whoever is traveling has made no attempt to hide the tracks. Plus, they're traveling alone. It's only one set of footprints, as far as I can tell.
But why did they only take parts of a meat?
Presumably they took the good parts.
Do you think
Yes.
there's someone else?
It's an island. I mean, no offense, but if they're not going to the cove, they need to eat. Why waste so much food?
It's possible they couldn't carry the entire carcass by themselves, so they simply cut out a piece of the meat and carried that.
Well,
At least
Or
you don't
they-
think it was anyone else.
Huh?
Apart from, well, and I brandish one of the kukris.
No, but like I didn't hear what you said actually, Adam. Repeat that.
I said, do you think it was anyone else?
Anyone else beside who?
I brandished one of the cookeries.
Oh. Well, she would have been much too good at hiding her tracks for them to be this obvious. Whoever made these tracks didn't even try.
Also, you would know that you're way too far away from the ambush site. She probably spent a lot of time creating those traps and covering her tracks. For her to come here and hunt would be extremely unlikely.
Oh, that being said, I do know probably how she got here with us. Anybody wants to know theory?
Is this in character, by the way?
Yeah.
By all means. I love a good theory.
She was on our boat. Pretty simple explanation, but she was on our boat waiting for us to probably sleep or whatever else. No wonder she ended up on the same side as us.
That seems like an extremely roundabout way going about killing someone.
Maybe, but they were looking for something inside of a boat, probably the traps and devices she used. I mean, she clearly sort of respected our power. She bought everything she could. I don't see any other reason. I mean, the only other thing we saw on the island killed her.
Yes. Still not entirely sure what that was.
Well,
Also, I love the fact that the guide is just sitting beside us, just.
Oh no, he's already sleeping, so he's not hearing anything.
No, like I was just wondering, like he was like sitting there, like just understanding nothing of the conversations. Like what?
No, don't worry about it. He's not eavesdropping.
So yeah, that's what I suspect. Trying to probably try to kill us on the boat or when we land.
Well,
ended up probably getting caught up in that giant ass fireball storm.
I suppose we'll just have to find out at a later date, for sure. Then again, if we do encounter some survivors, perhaps we can find proof.
Well, thankfully we already know they're alive. I mean, we did the scrying, I think, 2 days from this point? Right before we left the volcano, in fact.
Yep.
True.
So that means that they're still somewhere out there. You're not exactly sure if they're at the place you saw them, but you know that they will eventually be there and they will be fine at that point.
It's a fucking dragon!
More like an ancient wyvern.